Hey everybody, my name is Siddhant Dubey and I'm a current senior at the North Carolina School of Science and Math, high school senior. Uh, Today's video, I'll be going over every college application that I filled and I'll be ranking them on this tier list. I applied to 18 colleges and you'll see 19 images here because I'm also including the Common App because that's technically an application that I had to fill out, although that counts for the majority of these schools. But I applied to 18 schools, 11 of them early action, 7 regular decision, and then I will be ranking all of these based on a few factors, including how fun their application was. Fun can be interpreted as the applications that's the least boring are going to be put in S tier. That's basically how it is. How easy it was to fill out their application. If they had to make an account for like a different website and then fill everything out that I already put on the Common App on that website, then they're gonna get a lot of points deducted off that. I'm sorry MIT, but that's gonna happen to you. So let's start off by looking at all my early action schools, and also if you want to watch my decision reaction video when it comes out, then subscribe and turn on notifications because that'll be coming out within the next 2 weeks as soon as all my regular decision schools get their decisions turned out. So if you want to see that, subscribe, join my Discord server, and click on notifications. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first school I applied to was UNC Chapel Hill, but before we can look at that, let's take a look at where I would put the Common App. So the Common App, it's easy enough to fill out. There's a lot of things that you have to fill out on the Common App, but it's not super time consuming to do so. So I think the Common App goes in A tier. There's quite a few essay choices, and I think if you pick the right essay choice for the Common App, it won't be very bland writing it, and you'll be able to get your rough draft at least done a little bit quicker because you're actually kind of care about what you're writing, unlike some of the other essays or applications that we'll be reviewing very shortly. So UNC Chapel Hill is the first college that I applied to. I don't think it's the first essays I wrote, but it's the first college that I finished my application to and submitted. You applied to the UNC through the Common App, and I'm going to give this a B tier because the essay questions were not very intriguing. They were a bit bland. I tried to put my own quirky little twist on them, but they were kind of bland. But it was an easy process to apply to it, so I'm going to give it a B tier. Next school I applied to, I think, was NC State. I'm gonna try to go in order of me applying to them, but I'll probably get lost because I applied to 18 schools and I shotgunned and I have a poor memory. So NC State, we're gonna put this in B tier as well because it was basically the exact same process as UNC Chapel Hill, except there were a few more essays. And since I applied to the honors college at NC State, I did at UNC as well, but NC State had 2 honors college essays, and those were really long, so I'm going to have to put this low B tier. So everything else that comes in B tier is going to go in front of NC State. Okay, I also applied to Caltech early. Caltech's application was nice, 4 pretty interesting questions. There wasn't really anything extra that I had to do. It was really easy, super straightforward. Most of the things that I did through the Common App were really easy and straightforward, so don't expect any of those really to go in F tier. So Caltech, A tier, good questions, interesting to write, so I wasn't bored out of my mind while finishing those college applications. Next, I applied to MIT early, and MIT, I'm sorry, but it's going to go in F tier, and that's just because I had to make an account on a whole different website. For those of you who don't know, MIT has its own application portal. You can't apply through the Common App or the Coalition app. You have to make your own account on MIT's admission portal, fill everything out, and then apply to it. It was mad annoying, but I got it done anyways. I didn't get into MIT, but that's fine. But yeah, making an account on a different portal, filling out a bunch of manual information was a little bit annoying. Was quite annoying when I had all this information on the Common App already, so I'll have to put MIT in F tier. I'm sorry. I don't understand why MIT can't go on the Common App, but I mean they have to have their reasons. So going over to Purdue, I'm going to put Purdue in C tier. I didn't like their essays. They were really, really boring. And I think they were longer than they needed to be, even though they weren't that long. I don't remember how many essays there were or what the word limit was, but I think the word limit was like 300 something, and there might have been 3 essays. But I don't remember. All I remember is that I didn't enjoy filling out the Purdue application, so I'm going to put that as C tier. So UNC Charlotte, another North Carolina school, and I'm going to put this in A tier simply because it was a really short essay. It was boring, but it was a really short essay, and it was just super quick to apply. I think the total application for USC Charlotte took me maybe an hour. All right, UT Dallas. I also applied to UT Dallas early. UT Dallas did not have an essay. If you submit through the Common App, you do not have to fill out an essay for UT Dallas. You don't even necessarily have to have your Common App essay done with. You can submit UT Dallas without a Common App essay. I didn't because I already had my Common App essay typed out, so I was like, why not? So I decided to. So UT Dallas was much less than an hour. There was nothing to fill out, so it really just took me like 10 minutes to fill out all my details, and then I just click submit on the Common App, and I was done. After paying the college application submission fee, applying to 18 schools takes up a lot of money. It's unfortunate. All right, moving on to UT Austin, we get another Texas school. I don't know whether to put this at C or F tier. I think I'm going to put UT Austin's application in F tier because I had to make an account on Apply Texas because it doesn't use the Common App. Apply Texas is a site that looks like it's from the early 2000s, like 2001. It's ugly. The text fields to enter a lot of things have like a character limit. So some of my class names that I had to enter were, they were pretty long. They were like 30, 40 characters. And UT Austin's text boxes just couldn't handle it. So I had to come up with random abbreviations for my classes. I guess they understood because I did end up getting into UT Austin. But the application process was really, really annoying. The essays were really long for some reason. Not really long. It was 500 to 700 words, which I guess is long compared to other schools. But it was really annoying having to use a pretty poorly made portal to apply to the school. I got a lot of different things done with, and it was just really annoying to get done. Also, getting the recommender stuff done was a little bit annoying as well, because again, you can't get that through the Common App. That was another problem with the MIT thing, MIT portal. Getting my recommenders to send their letter of recommendation, it was a problem. All right, other early schools. Georgia Tech, I'm going to put that in A tier. They had pretty interesting questions. I wasn't bored out of my mind writing it, and it was really easy to submit. University of Michigan, I'll put into B tier. Actually, I'll put University of Michigan in C tier because they had some long essays, weren't very interesting, but it was still easy enough to apply because of the Common App. Harvey Mudd College. Actually, wait. Let me finish my other early actual school. Virginia Tech. F tier. Virginia Tech goes in F tier. And that's because even though I did have to submit through the Common App, they had me, after you apply to Virginia Tech, after you submit your application, they send you an email to their portal, and then on their portal, you have to self-report all your grades throughout high school, and I think that's kind of stupid when you already have an option to do that on the Common App, so I don't know why they didn't ask us to just do it on the Common App. It was a waste of my time, probably a waste of theirs for developing that system in the first place, and on top of that, they took so long to get decisions out. For an early application school that I submit to, I feel like my decisions had come out a little bit earlier than February, but I don't actually remember when the deadline was. But I didn't really enjoy the Virginia Tech application process. It was a little bit infuriating. So I'm going to have to give that bottom F. I'm sorry, Virginia Tech. Go Hokies. So Cornell University, it was an all right essay. It was 650 words, but it wasn't hard to write by any means. Well, actually, I don't know if it was hard to write or not. All I know is that it wasn't hard for me to write. I don't know if that will get me in because the decision hasn't come out, but We'll find out on April 6th on Ivy Day. Subscribe if you want to watch that reaction video. All right, Princeton. I'm going to put that in S tier. It had interest. When I was writing the Princeton application, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process of writing the Princeton application. It was easy enough to apply. They didn't ask for a bunch of random extra things. Just fill out their their essay question and then a few short answers that were pretty interesting. That were like, "What's the soundtrack of your life at this moment?" And then submit, and you're done. So Princeton, I'm going to put an S here. It was a pretty interesting application. Stanford is going to go to C tier because they made me fill out my grades. Actually, I'm going to put Stanford in B tier. So I had to fill out my grades. So basically, I had to put everything that was in my transcript into the Common App by hand for Stanford and Purdue. That's why Purdue's at C, because it had boring essays, and it made me do a lot of random, unnecessary work because they were going to get my transcript anyways. But Stanford gets bumped up a spot because it had interesting essays, so it saves itself for being C tier by having interesting essays. But it's not enough to save it and push it to A tier. Harvard, I'll put an A tier. It had interesting questions. Of course, interesting meaning not boring. I was fine writing it. I didn't really get writer's block a ton for my Harvard ones. So it was nice. Harvey Mudd, I'm actually going to put an S tier because the essay for Harvey Mudd was really nice. The essays were interesting. I enjoyed writing the answers to these, which is odd because this is really the only school that I enjoyed writing the answers to the essays for. So I'm going to put that in S tier. Duke gets sent in with the other North Carolina schools in B tier. I don't really remember the questions that I had to answer. All I remember is that they were pretty easy to do. Nothing really extra was required for me from Duke, and it was easy to submit to the Common App. So I'm actually going to put Duke at top of B tier. CMU gets put in C tier simply because the essay prompts weren't that interesting. I thought they were kind of boring. That might contribute to my rejection on Saturday, but we'll see. CMU decisions come out on Saturday at 9 a.m. And hopefully my essays were good enough to get me in, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, the CMU process, it was easy enough, but the essays were really slow and a drudge to work through, and I didn't enjoy them. So my final tier list looks like this. We got Princeton and Harvey Mudd in S tier. The Common App, UT Dallas, Caltech, UNC Charlotte, Georgia Tech, and Harvard in A tier. B tier, we got Duke, UNC Chapel Hill, NC State, Stanford, and Cornell. C tier, Purdue, the University of Michigan, and CMU. And F tier, unfortunately, MIT, UT Austin, and Virginia Tech. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like. If you disagree with any of my placements on this tier list, leave a comment down below or join my Discord and just start ranting at me in the channels. Follow me on Twitter or Instagram if you have any questions, or you could just ask them in the comments down below. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Also, if you're a junior who's about to start applying to colleges, I suggest that you do find some safety schools that have no essay requirement, because applying to that is just really applying and getting into a safety school is really just a huge weight off your shoulders, because then you know that, hey, at least you're gonna be going to college. And applying to one that doesn't have, applying to a few with no essays and high chances for scholarship is really nice, because then if you do get a scholarship, you have some financial availability to go to college, and it's super cool. So anyways, I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.